Welcome to The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I'm your host, Meredith.
And I'm your host, Cass.
Let's have some fun.
Sick.
What up? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody.
We're drinking, and I wanted to burp before we started.
Ew, it was juicy. It was like...
I didn't mean it. It was probably like a burp with like a bubble. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it totally
sorry.
was. Yeah. No,
But
it's
luckily
okay.
it's like out now.
You know, you can like wait or do it before I put my headphones on, and the shit's
I didn't
all
even
loud,
do it towards
like,
the microphone.
right in there.
Man, I did not have a long week, but I'm exhausted.
Okay,
It's
no.
only Tuesday.
You're talking about like your boss is like, oh yeah, have a good holiday. See you next year. What the fuck?
So where I work now, it gets a little quiet through the end of the year, and
Right.
then January ramps
Which
up.
is so different than what we're used to,
Yeah,
right?
it
Here
is.
I am working late every day.
Yes.
And you're
Stocking
like,
shelves,
yeah,
stores are getting busier.
Where are you going to be? Maybe I'll come see you.
Yes.
You know?
I am. I do want to come see you Thursday. Yeah, absolutely. I want to come walk some stores and stuff.
That's
but,
funny.
you know, it's a little bit different because the product that we have, the sales decrease because
Yes.
there's other holiday
Right.
products out
Right.
there. So, yeah. And he's told me twice. I think it's because he knows that I just like to stay busy. I feel guilty if
Yeah.
I have like,
I know.
So I work 9 to 5. If I log off around 4:15, I feel guilty.
Oh
I'm
my
like, someone else is
God.
working, and that's just how I am. So
And
he must
I have
know
seen
me.
you like get emails at like 7:00 at night.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh,
like,
yeah. And I'll
holy
answer them.
shit.
Oh, yeah. I'll answer them, or I'll just at least read them and prep for tomorrow
Yeah.
morning. Right. So
Yeah.
I'm still gonna do a little bit more traveling now. I wasn't gonna do anything till the end of the year, but I'm gonna go visit 2 more divisions.
Are you?
One's cold, one's warm.
Where are you thinking?
I'll probably go down south, and then
Yeah.
I'll stay a little bit local here too.
Oh,
so,
good.
Yeah, it won't
Yeah.
be too bad, but
Yeah.
excited for the warmth for a few days before Christmas.
Take me with you.
I will. No problem.
I don't have no paid
Actually,
time left.
flights are getting a little expensive now that the holidays are coming
Yeah.
up. Me and a coworker, we were taking a look because we travel together sometimes, and she wrote back, "Ooh, I hope they
Yeah.
approve this one."
Yeah.
You know, they're over $300 now to where we want to go, and that's round trip. Where
Isn't that
It was
crazy?
like
I was
161,
gonna
I
say,
think, for the other just a few weeks ago.
A year
you know?
ago, you could get a flight. Like I could go from Midway to Orlando for $59.
Yep.
It was crazy.
Yeah, so now they're a little bit higher. And
Yeah.
plus I guess it's Thanksgiving, Christmas,
Yeah.
holidays, end of the year.
Yeah, see, that's why he don't want you traveling too much. He's like, we can't afford it.
Yeah, but then he was like, well, maybe we could go visit one more division. I'm like, all right, that's fine. That's fine. As long as it's only a few days.
Yeah.
I just got done with 3 weeks worth, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, it took
was
me a
a
minute to
lot.
catch up. And not
Yeah.
because I'm older, just because it's just a lot.
Well, like you were saying, when you because you went out to LA,
Yes.
and then when you came back, you were all like jet lagged. You know,
Yes.
like and we had time change.
Yep.
So you were dealing with that
Yep.
and the time change, and that's a lot.
Yeah. It
yeah.
is. It is. It would be a lot for everyone.
I
don't know
can't
how. I have some friends that travel 24/7,
Yeah.
like 365. So
mean,
I don't know how they do
I
it.
feel like if I just did it constantly, it
Yeah.
would probably be better than leaving and coming back home and then leaving and coming back home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
'Cause then
Like
you
if you go
try
from
to
city
get-
to city to
right,
city,
right.
I think you know what? I think you're right. I think
Yeah.
it's the coming home. You know, you
And
do
you try to get
laundry, you're
back
doing stuff
onto
right. Yeah,
schedule.
but
Yeah.
it's not really, because then you're
Right.
going to just start over again.
Right.
So I guess if I went from city to city to city, then came home, it would be better. But I'm a homebody.
Yeah.
I love my family, and I want to see them every few days. So that's what I choose to
Yeah.
do. Yeah, but that's all right.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about, especially this time of year,
Yeah.
stores and even fast food places.
Okay.
They're always like, oh, do you want to round up the change and give it to charity?
Yeah.
You know, I told some
Do you know I'm
kid,
a sucker that always says yes?
Stop it.
Yeah. Why?
Because if you want to donate, go donate. You know what I mean?
I do.
Like,
yeah.
the stores don't give a shit. That's just a tax
Okay,
write-off
I'm
for them.
super nice, but you know who's a sucker?
Who?
My husband. They're like, how much do you want to give? He'll be like $10. And I'll
Oh
like
my
hit him in the arm. I'm like,
God.
absolutely not. He meant $1.
If you want to donate $10, our local store has food pantry cards where you just purchase the card for $10. They turn around, give the food pantry a gift card.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to donate, that's what I'm going to donate
Yeah.
to. But you go to these, like, big box stores and buy clothes, and they're like, oh, do you want to round up for breast cancer, blah, blah, blah. No.
Yeah.
I told a kid the other day, I went through a fast food restaurant, and he's like, oh, do you want to, donate your change, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. I need the donations. I told him that. And he laughed. He's been waiting for somebody to say that to him.
So they must have a competition at the store that I visit.
Yeah.
Because they have, every cashier has like a cute little sign
Yes.
to donate. And I think theirs is for like a dinner.
Yes.
To donate dinners for those in need, for a
Yes.
family that might need it.
Yes.
So you
I
go
know
down and
exactly
you
what
look,
you're talking
and you
about.
look at the cashiers, and like one's wearing like a turkey costume, and one has a cute little plate like on hers.
And they're like, ding, ding, thanks for the dinner donation, right? Every time someone donates, they put it over the loudspeaker.
and they're like, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
They like make it real fun. So I'm wondering if they like, they're offered something for as many
I'm
times
sure.
a customer.
Yeah.
Not obviously not the amount, but
Yeah.
like per
I'm sure
customer
they get a
or
bonus,
something. Yeah.
We'll give you a $50 gift card.
I have
if
no
you
idea if
donate
they do or not,
8,000
but it
turkeys.
absolutely looks like, unless where I shop, they are just so fun. They're so fun. So they may just do
Yeah.
it just to do it, but I'm not sure. It's
Yeah.
cute because one had like a turkey sticking out. I had to look at it twice. I'm like, are those balls
Oh
on her head? I'm like, oh, it's a turkey hat.
You thought it was a dick and balls?
Oh, yeah, definitely. My mind is ridiculous. Yeah, it was
That's
funny.
funny. Yeah, so I very rarely donate to those things.
I do. Okay, so this is what I do. This is horrible. I obviously am blessed, right? It's
Right.
just stupid. I don't even know why I even complain
Stop
ever.
it.
I'm like, I'm tired. I had to work an extra 5 minutes, In my mind, when they asked me to round, I said, well, what's the amount again? Because I want to know how much I'm actually giving.
You're
So
like,
if it's like
63 cents. Yeah, I guess I can afford that. I
I absolutely do. My brain. So I always, I'm just going to say this because everyone's going to be like, what a bitch. I always ask, but I always say yes.
Yeah.
Like if they say, well, your total is 1901, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh, God. A whole
Round it up.
99
Yeah.
cents. Oh, that's so funny. That's like the Sarah McLachlan commercials come on,
Oh
The
my
animals
God.
in
Oh,
need. I have to
forget
turn
it.
it. I have to turn it.
Oh, I just want to adopt all of them.
Stop it.
And they'll be starting soon too. I haven't
I
seen
know.
one yet.
You haven't?
No.
Oh,
and
God.
what's
I
the
see 'em all
song?
the time.
What's the song that?
In the arms of an angel.
I knew you would know. I turn it so fast. I don't
do
even know
too.
what song it is.
I turn it. Sometimes I watch it and I'm like, oh my God, look at that dog.
I was on Facebook and someone was complaining that all the red buckets are out for Salvation Army.
Oh,
Why
are they
no
complaining?
one's because it's so early. There's no one standing there yet.
give
They're
me a
just
fucking
they're dropping
break.
them all off. So do you donate change to the buckets?
Salvation Army is one thing I will donate to because
Yeah.
they actually take care of people.
yeah.
I'm going to talk shit like Goodwill. The CEO of Goodwill makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we have all seen the post on Facebook where it's like, research who you donate to. Because,
And that's with anything, right? That's
yeah.
if we learned anything from last year, it's research your
Yeah.
own shit and then do
Yeah.
what you want to do.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
that goes with it.
Yeah, research. But yeah, I'll usually, my problem is I never carry cash. But I always have a little bit of change in my ashtray, in my car. So if I see the guys out there with the red bucket, I'll grab it, throw it in my pocket, and then on the way out, I'll throw it in there.
That's funny that you say that because I only ever carry credit cards.
Right.
But somehow, and I never carry cash anymore. But somehow when I know that I have to give change, I'll go look down. I'm like, oh, yep, here's a couple quarters. Where do
Really?
they fucking come from?
Oh my God.
I never pay with cash anywhere.
It's your daughter leaves
It's
them
like
in there.
it's like a forever finding change in the couch. I find it in
Steve's
my
like,
car.
Oh, she can't not have any money on her. I better throw a couple quarters.
Couple quarters her way.
What if she's got to go through a toll and her iPass isn't working?
Right.
I'm going to leave her a couple quarters.
And then somehow I walk in and see Salvation Army. I'm like, oh yeah, I do
Yeah.
have 2 quarters. Hold on a second. I'm going to go get it.
Shit, yeah. 2 quarters. Not 99 cents. You ain't getting 99 cents out of my ass. Only 2 quarters.
I don't think we're going to go this year, but we usually go out to Iowa and feed the homeless
I
out there. Yeah, for food for thought
know.
for my friend. But we're more like acquaintances now, so I don't want to help him with anything.
Do you think he listens?
No, he doesn't listen.
Oh, shit. We just lost ourselves a listener. You know what? I figured out. Okay. So before I got sick, I was at this one store. Well, the day I got sick, I was at that store. And it's an old store. And today I went there again. Immediately, I started coughing.
Oh, no.
I wonder if they don't have mold in that store or something, because it was like, I was like choking.
And I don't think they have great filters.
Air filter.
Yeah.
Air filter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I walked in there today and I'm like, it has to be this freaking store.
I wonder what it is.
I feel like I'm getting sick every time I go
And it's
there.
downtown.
Yeah.
Very busy roads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. It is. Yeah, it is an older building. Like they have that weird upstairs that you can go, right? Or is that the one I'm thinking
I
of?
never knew that was there. Okay, I've been working for this company for a year now.
Yeah.
I never knew they had an upstairs
Oh,
until
yeah. Is it all storage still?
They have office up there.
Oh,
It's
okay,
like the store
okay.
director's office is
Yes,
up there.
yes,
and then
yes,
they
yes.
have like some computers up there.
Yeah.
Which now that I know that, because the pricing lady is not nice at that store.
Oh.
And I always like, oh, hey, can I make a couple tags? She's like, can you come back in 10 minutes? And I'm like, God, she's such a bitch.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Now that I know that office is up there, I'll fucking grab a couple stacks of tags. I'll go up there and make my tags.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I never knew it was there until we were doing a reset and I was looking for the strips for the reset.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, go look upstairs. And I was like, upstairs? What are you talking about? I'd never been up there.
I like that one store where you have to go across the parking lot to get to the building that they have just so much stuff in. Yeah, I'll have to think about what store it is, but
I don't know what store that is.
so you park up, you take the elevator
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
and then the store director will just give you a key and say it's across the way. So maybe that's where all your racks are that you're missing.
Yeah, probably. I'm only missing one. But,
Years
you
ago,
know.
I had to organize that. And it was like kind of hot in there, and they would leave
What?
like it's where everyone smokes.
Oh, weird.
Like outside and stuff, so you can kind of like get the smoke in the room, and then you're like getting secondary smoke, which is kind of nice. Sometimes I like a buzz on a Thursday afternoon, but I remember organizing it all and and then not even like a few weeks later,
was
she
just
gave me the key. I
trashed
went, and
again.
there was so much
Yeah.
stuff. They must have just. Every store that was around that store was able to put all their
Oh
stuff
my
in there.
God.
There was like what are those called? The tables that you always call they go under each other. What do they call nesting?
Nesting tables.
So many
yeah.
nesting tables, so many racks, all the rounders, just so
That's crazy.
so much. Yeah,
So all
it's
the
crazy.
stores just go there to pick up their
So
supplies.
if you're ever missing something in a store, check that out. Ask Drew. I think
hell?
he'll know which store I'm talking about.
Drugel. Drugel, what store is it? I know you'll call and let us know.
So I posted on Facebook that we were going to talk about the darndest things that kids
Yes.
say and do, and I have a few stories.
Oh God! And then
So-
my mom posts a story about
Oh my
me.
gosh, start with that. That is
That's
so
not even
funny.
She's like, it's not a retail story. But
It's not a retail story, but it's exactly the start
she
of how kids
tells
are.
Everybody this story.
Go ahead.
Everybody. It's like if she's gonna tell you about me, like if you say, "Tell me about your daughter Cass," she'd be like, "Oh my God." When she was like 4 or 5 years old, it was Easter. And I hid their baskets. Well, the Easter bunny hid their baskets. So, me and my sister are looking for our baskets and this and that. And I spot it. It's under the kitchen table. And I squatted down. And I was like, oh, my God. Candy, candy, candy. Can we eat it, eat it, eat it? And if you know me, like, that is me.
Yeah, it's like it hasn't changed.
Yes.
Are we talking about this year or years
Yeah,
ago,
right?
right? That's awesome.
It was about 35 years ago.
The only reason why I bring this up is because I was at the store a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and okay. I'm just gonna go backwards here for a second.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm annoyed with parents the way they speak to their kids sometimes.
Oh, my God. I get
The
so annoyed,
babying and
too.
all that. Okay, so
Not even
just, I
that,
think
like,
that just comes with the
When they're,
territory of
like,
retail.
so mean to them, and I'm like, Jesus, you wonder why they're being mean to you.
Yeah,
Look at how you talk to
or
them.
So I was not. I didn't talk babyish to my kids. I think that's
No.
why they're so mature.
Yeah.
Never from the start.
Really?
Like I had a friend.
How can you not?
I
always
would
like,
have.
oh my God, what are you
Stop. That's hurting my ears. My ears are bleeding right now. I cannot stand that.
Really?
Like that. Like I had a friend that she had kids before me, and the one would fall or something. And she'd go, "Oopsie daisy!" I'm like, "Oh no." I would just I would want to stick
couldn't do
pencils
it?
in my ears
Oh,
and
God.
freaking, I
I
don't know.
talk
It
to
was
my
crazy.
dog like that, too.
No, you do not.
I do. I go, oh my God, DC, what you doing,
Oh,
buddy?
you do that, but that's
And then I
fun.
go, who's a butt? Who's a butt? Who's a DZ butt? Who's a butt? Who's a butt?
Okay,
and
so-
he gets all excited.
It's probably because I like you that it
Yeah,
doesn't bother me.
yeah.
But yeah, that absolutely bothers me. Like there was a mom
That's
that,
funny.
like if the kids are acting up and they would just be like, well, now we don't do that.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. So
Yeah.
I don't know, like last year or so, I was in a store and this kid was absolutely acting up. Like he deserved to be like beat down, you know? He was in the bread aisle, pulling a whole bunch of bread out.
Oh
and,
my God.
You know, like giving me a smile, like, look what I can do. And mom's
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness, we don't do
my
that in a
God.
store. And then she finally got mad because then he was like knocking racks over.
Then she
and
was like, "Listen here, little
yeah,
fucker."
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, I am going to just, you are in so much. She couldn't even like, she was starting to get real embarrassed
my
because like all these
God.
bread vendors were around looking at her like, you better like tame your kid.
Yeah.
So she's like, you come here, young man. 1, 2. And he goes, 3, 4. And I was like, oh my God.
I love when kids do that to their parents. But like my mom would be like 1 and we'd be like, okay.
Okay. Oh, my mom didn't even get to 1.
Yeah.
She would start to look over. I'd be like, yep, nope, on my way. Here I
If
come.
you ask my mom, she says we were the best kids ever. And I'm like, then why'd you beat her ass all the time? And she's like, yeah, that's what kept me in line.
Yeah, that's
no,
right.
she'll be like, I never beat you. And I'm like, I got my butt spanked plenty of times. But in her defense, I always say, anytime we got our butt spanked, we totally deserved it.
Oh, yeah.
You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, I mean we absolutely.
I never
acted
felt
up.
like I was abused.
No,
you know?
no,
like,
no. That's just how they did it back
Yeah.
then too. Little smack, whatever,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
My brother is 10 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So he's 29. And and I think it was before he had his son. So this is about 4 years ago. He was in
Yeah.
the kitchen. He must have been driving my mom crazy. And he said something to her and she just backhanded him. Poof,
Really?
right in the like mouth,
God,
you know?
yeah.
And she said he just stood there like, what the fuck?
Oh, what the shit?
Like,
Never too old for me to beat your ass.
so there you go. There's my childhood.
That's
all in
funny.
one story. So last week I was shopping. I like to do shopping in the morning before I work. So I
Yeah.
log in at 9. So like around 7 o'clock, I'll run to the store because I'm up early. You know,
Yes,
we're Snapchatting
yes,
early.
yes.
And so this young boy, oh my gosh, so cute with his mom, totally perfect. She's like, baby talk. So what are we here for? And I was just like, I'm going down the wrong aisle. But he was so cute. He said, buns, bread, jelly, and Canada fruit.
Canada fruit?
And she started laughing. She goes, or canned fruit.
Oh, canned fruit.
And it was so funny. And nowadays, no one trusts anyone. And I started laughing. I'm like, that was so cute. And she just stared at me like,
Oh my
why are you
God.
listening to my kid?
Yeah. You're trying to steal my kid?
Like I look like I'm going
I
to steal
know.
somebody's kid. You know,
Jeez,
mine are
well, you
grown.
never
I'm
know.
done,
You
you
never
know?
know.
Yeah.
I saw a lady walking in with her kids. Like, we were putting up these things, and I only grabbed 2, and I needed 3. I didn't know.
Oh, no.
So I'm, like, running back out to my car and coming back in. And there's this lady with 2 kids. She's holding one and holding the hand of the other. And they looked very close in age. Like,
Oh, my.
you know, they call that Irish twins when there's, like,
Oh,
barely
yes.
a year between them.
Yes.
And the one she's holding her hand, she goes, Mom, there's so many cars out here.
Oh.
And the mom's like, well, honey, this is a parking lot. So, yes, there's going to be a lot of cars.
I love when moms trying to reason, or dads, they try to reason with the kids.
It's so funny. Like, thank you, Mr. Obvious.
I love that. There was one at where we used to work.
Yeah.
So we had a tank. And one time this mom, it was around New Year's, this mom had a young boy, maybe 3 or 4, and they pull up by the meat department. He was like, oh
the
my God,
yeah.
they're alive.
Oh, God.
I want an alive fish. And it was definitely the lobster tank.
Oh,
and she's like,
God.
well, those are for eating. He was like,
Oh,
what?
my God.
What do you mean they're for eating? I want an alive fish. He just kept saying
Yeah.
alive fish. It was so cute.
Yeah.
I love it.
Probably because he's seen the fish dead in them. You know, when do kids realize,
Life and death.
well, like, that a burger is a cow?
Oh, gosh.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Or that, like, oh, you're eating salmon. Well, what the fuck
I
is
guess it all
salmon,
depends
you
on
know?
when the
Yeah.
parents teach them, but I probably didn't know until
Yeah.
I was like 25.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you were like, no more for me.
Yeah.
I like, you know, because
I would say nowadays it's very early. Like,
You think so?
I think parents
Okay.
teach very early because it's all about what's in your food
Yeah.
and what are we doing. And
Yeah.
I think young ones are just way overeducated on things like that.
You know, and it's
So that they can make their own choice. It's all about everyone makes their own choices.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's
weird
earlier.
because that's a fine line that you cross with your kids about like over-informing
Yeah.
and
yeah.
under-informing.
Right.
Like you want them to be smart and have knowledge, but how much is too much knowledge? You
Right.
know, When is it too much for their own good?
I just think young ones are so smart.
They are.
I just think because all the parents are just so open and
Yeah.
just with everything we've been through now in just these
Yeah.
past few years.
well,
I just
and think
feel like
for the last 2 years they've been home with their
yeah,
kids,
and you're
you know,
gonna have
like,
adult
yeah.
conversations
Right,
and little
right.
pictures have big ears. You
Yeah.
know, so it's just always been like that.
Yeah,
So
that's funny.
a while ago. So Steven was my one-liner always.
Yeah.
That kid always embarrassed me, but to a funny point. You know, I'm sure everyone around was like, what a little shit. But of course he was my child. So I was like, you're so cute. So we were Black Friday shopping.
Yeah.
And we had our PJs on because that's what we did. We had like, not
Right.
really matching, but you know, it was just cute to put
Yeah.
your PJs on because you're going to get up at 3 a.m. to go shopping. So the store had sales everywhere. So we're in line and I'm looking at something and it was like a pack of underwear that were like on sale. I'm like, oh, these are 50% off. Maybe I'll get them. And he looked at me, he goes, but Mom, you don't wear underwear.
Oh my god! Right in front of everybody, they're like,
And there was a line of 10 and I'm like, oh my God. And the guy behind me kind of gave me a wink like, yeah.
I know kids. Okay, have you ever seen the video? I know it's an old one. And the kid's like, Mom, do you need these? And he's holding up the pads. And he's like, don't you use these for your butt, you know? And the mom's like, fucking put it back, you know? And he's like, but you used to use these for your butt. I saw you, you know? Like, shut up.
Aw. Do you see that TikTok where they're like, hand your child something that you
Yes.
use and see if they know?
Yes.
There's one girl that knows everything.
She takes the razor to her little
oh yeah,
coochie
oh
cooch.
yeah. She's in the bathroom with Mom all the time. Mine never came into the bathroom with me.
No?
Never.
You
never.
set boundaries.
I did. I
Yeah.
did. Like, it was cute because, like, I would close the door and, like, maybe, like, poop in peace.
Yeah.
So I would have, like, my cell phone. Actually, we didn't even have
didn't have
it.
cell
Yeah, because that
phones
was,
back
what,
then.
19 years ago?
Unless you were playing Snake on your Nokia.
So I would just put, like, maybe, like, a little light on, or I always had a candle in that
Yeah.
bathroom, you know? So Steven would peek underneath the door. He's like, why is it so dark in
Oh
there?
my
What are you
God.
doing, Mom? And, you know, you could see his little fingers like, what's going on, Mom? What are you doing?
I just want to shit in peace. So when my sister was born, that was in the 80s. I know, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, right?
And my mom lived in very rural, middle of nowhere, Wisconsin when my sister was born, right? So I don't think I was even born yet. And she must have come down. You know, my mom grew up in Elgin, Illinois.
Okay.
If, you know, the listeners know where that is.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely way more diverse than the middle of nowhere freaking Wisconsin where my sister was born, right?
Okay.
So my sister was probably about 4 years old. And my mom takes my sister to the store out in Elgin. And, you know, there's black people, Latino people, like, and my sister's just in awe, you know, like looking around and she goes, Mom, why is that lady so black? You know, and my mom's like melts, like, I'm so sorry she's never seen a black person before.
Yeah, right. Kids just say the darndest things.
Then another thing my sister did, she fell on the coffee table. How many kids have fallen?
Oh, yeah.
Hit the corner
Oh,
of
yeah.
the coffee table.
There's scars
on,
on
their eye,
foreheads
right?
and cheeks. And
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
she has that.
Yep.
You know,
oh, yeah.
I think, who was it? Vanilla Ice started the whole cut a line in your eyebrow.
Yeah.
My sister always had that, you
Right.
know, from
yeah, I mean,
falling
she
on
started the
something.
trend years ago.
So my sister had fallen, hit her eye on the corner of the coffee table, had a black eye. My mom has her at the store, and you know, this guy or lady, whoever it was, I don't know who it was, says, "Oh my gosh, what happened to you?" And she's like, "My daddy did it."
Oh no.
And my mom's like, she fell on the coffee table.
Oh no. Oh man.
My daddy did it.
That's not good. We were out to eat once at a Chinese restaurant in town.
Yeah.
And the kids were little. Like
Yeah.
Steven was probably 3. And I'll admit it, my son was a little shit when he was younger.
Yeah.
He just was a boy.
Yeah.
Like, you know how people say he's just a boy.
Yes.
He just tested.
Yes.
Julia was quiet. She did whatever. You know,
Yeah.
she listened. I never had to yell at her. I still don't. Like, we don't even like yell now, you know.
Right.
And every once in a while, Steven and I will butt heads. It just is. We just, maybe we're the same type of person or something. But he wasn't having like a great night. And so we still went out to eat. We were with my parents and we were sitting in a circle and he was messing with the silverware and he wouldn't stop messing with it. So I moved it away. Well, I didn't realize he grabbed a knife.
Oh God.
And the waitress started
God.
coming our way and he flipped that thing towards her.
Oh my God.
She caught it in
No.
midair, like hammer style, you know, like with her arm up. And you should have seen his face,
Oh
like,
my
oh
God.
fuck, I am in so
He's
much
like,
trouble.
oh shit, I really fucked that one up.
I looked at him, I go, get your fucking jacket on. We're going in the car. And he was like, oh my God.
God.
He knew he
like
was
you were going to stab him with the knife. I'm going to stab your ass. Show you what
I
it
was
feels like.
so embarrassed,
Oh
but
my
it was like
God.
she was on it. Like, it was just like, people have like
That's
those quick
crazy.
Now, for me, it would have got me in the eye. I would have been
Yeah.
like, oh, what's that? I would
Yeah.
have dropped our soup or whatever.
Yeah.
But she was quick.
That's crazy.
Him and I sat in, I had a Jeep Cherokee years ago. Him and I sat in there until everybody was done. And he kept saying, I want to go back in. I'm like, nope. I swear that kid did not go out to eat for 2 years after
Oh
that.
my
That was it.
gosh.
I was like, there's no way my kid's
Yeah.
going to embarrass me. But I was a tough mom.
That's
so.
crazy.
Yeah.
I know one of the ladies that used to come into the store all the time because we've talked about stuff on Facebook and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I'm friends with her on Facebook. And she's got a set of twins.
Mm-hmm.
And she would bring them shopping all the time. And they were the cutest girls. And we would all spoil
I know who you're
them,
talking
and
about,
You do
yeah.
know who I'm talking about. So she gets to the checkout line. And one of the girls she wants to help put stuff up on the belt. Well, she took a thing of guacamole and like chucked it.
Whoops.
And it just like all over the place.
No.
And she was like, oh my God, I was so embarrassed. I was like, don't be embarrassed. Like, who cares? Let me go get you more guacamole. Who cares?
Yeah,
You
she
know,
was just
like,
trying to help.
Yeah, it was.
I always tell my kids they never got hurt. They never got hurt goofing around. They always got hurt when they were behaving themselves.
Really?
And it always made me feel sad. Like,
Yeah.
like they would just like be doing their laundry and they'd go to walk down the stairs and you like hear them
God.
falling. Or we'd be in the store and they would be helping me like, can you go get me cucumbers? Now this is when they were real little.
Yeah.
Can you go get me cucumbers? You go find them, because it was like an open, you could see
Right,
what the kids were doing.
right.
And now back then, not a lot
We
of
didn't
people
worry
shopped
about
on.
we
didn't worry about that kind of stuff.
kidnappings
Yeah, this
and
was,
sex trafficking.
Gosh, my oldest daughter's 21, so this has been a long time, But, and then they would like go to turn around and slip on something and fall. Or it was always when they were helping, and it always made me feel
Yeah.
sad. But
They're like, fuck
on
you,
that
bitch.
note, I love when I see kids being brats and they go
Oh,
to grab
God.
something and start running from their parents and they
Yes.
fall and hit their face. I'm like,
yes.
"Serves you right."
Yes. 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 I'll say it again. Yes. I love when that happens.
There was a little boy. I think I may have kind of touched on this in an earlier episode, but there was a little boy at the cashier, and he was standing there, and I could see him, and he would like look up at Dad, and then he would look around at the candy, and he would like kind of like do like a little like walkie with his fingers, like he was gonna walk over to the candy, and he would take like something small. It was funny because he knew what was gonna fit, and then he would like walkie his fingers, and then he would like look at Dad, and Dad would be like, no, we're not gonna buy that today. We're getting stuff that Mom said, like he brought
Yeah.
the whole mom card out,
Blame it on Mom. Mom said you can't have it.
Mom gave us the list and we're
Yeah.
sticking to the list. And so he'd be all right. So he'd leave his hand there and all of a sudden he would just like grab it and he would stick it in his pocket.
Stick it in his pocket.
And then he'd go on the
little
left
shit.
side. There was a couple like, maybe a Matchbox
Yeah.
card and stuff. So I just watched the whole thing. I thought, you know what? I'm not going to embarrass anyone.
Yeah.
I'll say it like later as we're
Yeah.
walking out or, before they walk out. So, I mean, he must have had just like so many things in his pockets from the whole store because I started to look at like his back pocket jeans.
Stop it.
And they were like, you could see like corners of like, I think it was
Packaging.
like Legos or something,
What the
like little
shit?
packaging. So I was like, okay, maybe I should tell the dad. I thought, well, one or two, he'll teach them when they get to the
Right,
car.
right.
But I said, Dad, and the little boy looked at me. He had no idea that I was even seeing it because he
Right.
was only worried about what Dad was
Right.
watching.
He doesn't care
So
about
I said,
anybody
hey, Dad,
else.
and I whispered it so I wouldn't embarrass him. And I said,
Yeah.
he's got a lot of stuff in his pockets. And he goes, what? Really loud. I said, he just put a little something in his pocket. And all of a sudden, he starts
Oh,
emptying his. He goes,
God.
what do you got in your pockets? And he was just like, which
Ooh,
one?
a lot of shit.
There was like Legos and
Stop it.
There was so much stuff, chocolate and those little pops, like the ones that look like you can hook them. What are those called? Like the little suckers with they look like a pen, fat pen.
Yeah, yeah.
Push pops.
Yeah.
He had suckers. Yeah, all that
Oh
kind of
my
stuff. Oh my God. The dad was
God.
like, thank you so much. He's like, we don't do that.
Oh
like,
my
I tried
God.
not to embarrass him, but he was just like yelling.
terrible.
And I think they were twins, but the other one didn't have it. He goes, do you have stuff in your pocket too?
Oh my God.
Oh, kids.
I remember we did steal gum one time and we felt really bad because Mom never had a lot of money. We had what we needed,
right.
but her excuse if we wanted something and she didn't want to buy it was we don't have money for that.
Right, right.
So me and Jenny had it down. Like she would stand in front of me and I would steal like a pack of Hubba Bubba.
Yeah.
And I remember one time we got home and we started unpacking groceries and Mom had got us bubble tape
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I felt so guilty that I stole Hubba Bubba
Because
when
she was
got
surprising
us
you.
gum. Yeah, I was
Oh.
like, fuck, I'm a bad person now, you know.
I don't ever remember stealing.
No.
I'll have to ask my mom. I don't think I ever did.
I had some friends that they lived very close to a drugstore. And I know they listen to this podcast, so this will be funny.
Yeah.
They lived very close to a drugstore, and they would go steal gum and makeup
Yeah.
and all sorts of shit. And they literally had a suitcase under their bed full.
What?
Like, every day you knew the one girl would have gum. Like, hey, give me some gum. I know you got gum. You know, she would just have packs and packs and packs of gum, you know. And that store closed. I feel like they put them out of business.
That was just the one suitcase you saw. How many were in the closet? I remember shopping with someone. I didn't really hang out with the greatest of people. You know, it would be like stints. Like I'd have like a couple weeks where like all of a sudden we were besties and I'm like, oh God, no. Because I realized that I just did not want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
That was my worst fear, was to tell my dad I got in trouble, you know. And we went shopping to a clothing store, and I remember that she had like a big bag, and I went shopping. I actually went and bought like something. I found a pair of shoes that I liked. You know, back then they were like $15 or not even, but that was like
I missed
for
$15 shoes.
Yeah,
cool shoes.
So I go to walk out, and she's like, "What'd you get?" Like almost like it was like a code, you know, like "What'd you get?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just bought these shoes." So we get in my car because I drove her ass because I was dumb, and all of a sudden she's pulling all this stuff out of her bag, like that she stole all this stuff. And I'm just like, how
what
in the hell? And then I was like, oh no, we can't hang out anymore. But I was like, but I really like that scarf.
Oh my God. Let me get that.
We're not gonna be friends anymore, but can I have something to remember you by?
That's so
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. I know I had some bad apples that I'd hang out with every once in a while too. But I actually had some pretty decent friends. My mom might disagree. You know, she yelled at me a couple times, like, you shouldn't hang out with that person. They're trouble, you know?
Yeah.
And I'd just be like, man, whatever. You know, I got into trouble when I was a kid, but I don't think it was, you know, I didn't end up in prison. I didn't kill anybody. You know, I would drink beer and smoke pot when I was a kid. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so.
It
And
sounds like the times,
I was
really.
like, Mom, you did it too. Grandma, you did it too. Great grandma probably did it too, you know?
We're all guilty here.
We all did it. Don't try to act like you didn't.
So I was curious online, like if other people had similar stories to share like we had. So I looked up online. It's 22words.com. So Salty Mermaid Entertainment shared.
Oh, God.
My favorite part of grocery shopping with kids is staying home and starving instead.
Oh, my God. Ain't nobody want to take their kids to the store.
This other one is from James Breakwell. It says, grocery shopping with kids. Me, quiet down or we're going straight home. Kids, yay! Me, quiet down or we're staying here forever. Kids, silence.
I'll fucking leave you here.
Yeah, watch what you threaten because... And then this other one, Josh, says, me, quote unquote, giving a press conference after taking the kids to the grocery store. I don't know what the hell happened in there. That was ridiculous. These are so funny.
That's so
and
funny.
We all can relate. You know, even if you don't have kids, you can relate by just watching what other parents have gone through, right? The loudest sound on earth is my child asking an inappropriate question about another customer at the grocery store. We just talked about that. That was my Mama Lodge.
That's funny.
Oh, so funny. There was one here that I was laughing at. I got to find it. Oh, this one, Ramblin' Mama says, if hell exists, it's probably just grocery shopping with a cranky toddler for all of eternity. No kidding. I agree. And then this Tony Hammer says, grocery shopping with kids is just saying, put that back every 30 seconds until everyone is crying, including the people that work at the store.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man, it's awesome.
What about the kids that would get lost?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay, so they would come up to the service desk, or like another employee would bring them up to the service desk, and they're just crying, right? Mm-hmm. And they would be like, my mom left me here. And I'm like, well, are you good boy when you're at home? Not really. And I'm like, well, what's your mom's name? You know, sometimes they would know it, sometimes they wouldn't.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your mom wearing? They don't fucking
They
know.
don't know. Yeah.
A yellow jacket and purple pants. I'm like, really? Well, fuck, you were right. You know?
You know, we had quite a few lost parents when I worked at.
Okay, so I feel when we were kids, we would wander around the store,
Yeah.
you know, and mom would whistle.
Yeah.
Just like that. And she did it loud, really loud.
Yeah, yeah.
And we would know, go find mom, you know? So, like, I'm not against letting your kids wander around the store,
Yeah.
you know? As long as they're not stealing, they're not trashing the place or anything. But I feel like some of these kids, maybe like 10 years old, 8 or 10 years old, you know, they'll go wander, which their parents are fine with. And I'm fine with it too. As long, like I said, as long as they're not trashing the place.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh God, how long have I been over here? Oh God, where's my mom? And then like the place we used to work at, it was kind of a big box store. So I had everything.
Yeah.
So they're over by the toys. Their
Right.
parents are over
They're-
by the
they
meat
were always
section,
by the
you know?
toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'd come up and be like, fuck, they left me here. You know?
Yeah.
I looked everywhere. And it's like, yeah, you looked in the toy aisle. They didn't hang out there with you for 30 minutes while you were looking at
Yeah.
toys. They've moved on. you
Yeah.
know? You know, so we've always found kids, always found parents, you know.
And there was
so.
always a protocol. Like
Yes.
if it was a true lost parent, right?
Yeah.
And they coded it over
Yeah.
the intercom.
Well, see,
right?
that was the thing is we had a code. It was like code 75, right?
Okay.
I'm just making that up. I don't even think that was a code. But that was for a parent coming up and saying that their child was missing.
So that's when
That
we
was
would
a
go to the
true-
doors.
Yes, that was a true
Okay.
lost child.
Like this kid is gone. I
Yeah.
cannot find him. I've looked
But
everywhere.
yeah, we never paged Department 75 for a lost child because we know the parent is probably
Oh,
looking.
right. That makes sense. I didn't even think about that. Yes, understood.
Yeah, so
I remember paging parents.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Could a Mrs. Hernandez please come to the front? We have a special package for you.
We always said that. I remember one time, a real young one. I mean, he must have been
Yeah.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
I would say, I'm going to page your mom or dad. What's their name? And he said, Paige. And I'm like, oh, okay. Mom, Paige, can you come to the front? And she was like, my name's not Paige. And he was like, ooh, because
like,
you said you're going to page her.
So we're going to talk about oversharing and not sharing enough. You did not share enough. Kids should know your name. I remember, I don't know if I talked about this before. So if I did, you might have to edit it out. Maybe you'll remember. But we had these kids. We had to call the cops on these kids, you know, and the cops come and the cops like, yeah, I know that one. You know,
Oh,
like
no.
he's in trouble all the time. They were like 12.
Wow.
I'm all trying to play badass. Like, what are you going to do when the cops come? You know, what do you think your parents will do about that? And they're like, we don't give a fuck. And I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit.
I know.
It's crazy.
I don't
That
know.
broke my heart.
Yeah.
That broke my heart.
Well, is it because the parents are similar though? So that's what they're learning,
Oh, yeah.
or is it just
He's
who they
like,
hang out
I've been
with?
at this I've been at this kid's house a million times. His
Oh,
parents are always
no.
fighting and this
oh,
and that.
it's
And
so
oh,
sad.
it's terrible.
So Domestic Goddess on the same 22words.com
Yeah.
says, kids begged me to let them do self-checkout at the grocery store, and
Oh,
I'm pretty
God.
sure our milk will expire before we finish this
Oh,
adventure.
God. That's the biggest mistake ever.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Parents,
Yeah.
whoever brings kids, if it's busy,
Don't
just
do
tell the
that.
kids no.
Yeah.
Or don't do self-checkout.
Right.
I don't care how many items you have.
Right.
You're pissing everybody off behind you.
Yeah.
Because you're letting the kid. I get it. They have to learn.
Right.
But do it on a Tuesday afternoon. I always told people
Exactly.
Monday nights, Tuesday afternoons.
Yeah. Yep.
Those are the best times to shop. Nobody's there. And it especially matters when ad break is. So if ad breaks Wednesday, go Tuesday. If ad breaks Sunday, go Saturday night.
Yes.
Because nothing's there. As long as you
Yes.
don't care that there's not a lot of things on the shelf, but you want to
As long
teach
as
your
you don't
kids how to use shit,
As long as you
then
don't
go
need
then.
too much food for your
Yeah,
children.
exactly. I used to always shop on Tuesdays. You know what I would do? Up, don't have it? Okay, fine. I don't care.
I know.
There was nobody around.
Yeah,
There was
yeah, I
so go
agree.
the day before ad break. There won't be anybody around.
Or it's like the days that like elderly people shop because I won't say all, but a lot of elderly people do not like the self-check. So they're not going through there.
Yeah, unless they've learned them and whatever. But okay, so Becca Forrest says, here's to pizza, because who wants to cook all this healthy food after grocery shopping with babies?
I always do that. I don't even have kids.
Hashtag mom life.
And I would go spend $300 at the store and then order pizza.
Oh, there's 4 adults that live in this house, and
Yeah.
Steve and I went shopping on Friday. I went through the drive-thru. I was like, hey, you want a burger?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. As we
Starving.
just spent $300 at the grocery
we
store.
did a lot of work in there.
Yeah.
Did a lot of walking.
So Bryn says, if you ever want to have kids, just work at a grocery store and that thought will be killed real quickly.
Oh my God. I think that probably solidified my not wanting children for a long time. Yes.
So this Amanda Thompson says, we took the long way to the grocery store so I could legally strap my kids down and drink one more full cup of coffee.
Oh my God.
Legally. So
I
what does she
can't-
do illegally at home?
I don't even want to think about it. She's like, just stay in your high chair for a little longer.
So this Mary Sell says, pro tip, the only thing worse than grocery shopping when you're hungry is shopping when your toddler's hungry.
Oh. You know what, though? I feel like people rip shit open all the time and whatever.
Oh,
they still
we
pay
do.
for it, you know?
So Steve has a rule. Like, you don't open anything. Like, he always talks about how he would go grocery shopping with his mom, and she would say, you're not touching anything until it's back at the house and you have your hands washed.
What? Oh. Well,
So when we would go grocery shopping with the kids when they were younger, and I'd let them eat not weighted stuff. I was going to say grapes, but I actually never did. We
Yeah.
would open up like pretzels or
Yeah.
something or popcorn.
Something you can
He would be
scan.
like, we were never allowed to do that. I'm like, I'm
So,
still going to pay for it.
we're breaking the chain today.
yeah.
Breaking the cycle.
Yeah, these kids are hungry and I'm not going to listen to them cry.
So I made a comment on someone's post today because they were talking about how like they've been working since they were 14 and this and that. And like the comment kept going, like he had a lot to say, and I was like, oh God, this guy is gonna say, well, I had to do it, so everybody else should. And he didn't. He said, my life has been a literal nightmare, and I'm like, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are like, well, I had to fucking live this hell, so should you.
Yeah.
Not that Steve is like not being able to eat in the grocery store isn't hell, but you're allowed to break that cycle. Your other family members don't have to suffer just because you had to suffer.
Yeah, exactly. I do think it's funny though that the moms like let the kids have the weighted items like all
Yeah.
the grapes or the banana
yeah.
or the orange.
Stores
Like how
don't
about all the
care.
orange peels we
Yeah.
would find or like
Oh,
we talk
all
about the
the
cherry
time.
pits and
Ugh,
stuff
I
or the
hated the cherry
banana
pits.
peels.
Yeah.
It's like, you gonna pay for that or no?
No.
Just weigh the kid when you get there. Just put
Yeah.
the kid on the scale.
Weigh him before and after. He ate about a half pound of produce while he was in the store.
I remember opening a box of cereal once and Steve was like, absolutely not.
Oh
I'm like,
my
absolutely
God.
yes. She's
Just
hungry.
eating dry cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, you're going to really let her stick her hand in? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to let her keep eating it too.
Who cares? Kids don't
Go
care.
get your shit. No, we'll wait over here.
That's how they get good germs. You know what I mean?
Do you remember
Build
the
up their
fish tanks
immunity.
that we had
Oh, God,
at the
yeah.
store?
Remember how smudgy they were?
Oh, yeah.
Kids would like lick them and
Oh, my gosh.
God.
It was a field trip.
Yeah.
For many, many families.
Oh, yeah.
Like if we go grocery shopping, we get to go see the fish.
Yeah, yeah.
All the time. There was always people there.
Always kids over there.
Yeah. So I kind of felt bad for the fish because there was a young one that would come up and they would buy a fish like every 3 weeks.
Oh, God.
They either had a ginormous tank
I don't think so.
or the fish went sleepy every 3 weeks.
I'm pretty sure he just kept taking the fish out of the water. I want to pet the fish.
Oh my God.
Now we got to flush the fish again. Good thing they were only like 13 cents.
Oh,
You
I
know
like
what
the
mean?
parents that's, in the middle of the night will go to a 24-hour store just to go
God.
buy a fish that looks the same.
Go
And
replace
go
the fish.
replace the fish.
You overfed the fish. I told you overfed the fish. It gained a lot of weight overnight.
And kids are so smart. They're like, oh, that's weird. They grew a brown spot on their back
Yeah,
fin. It's
yeah.
so weird. Look at that. Oh, yeah, it's a totally different fish.
Yeah.
That parent went out and bought another one that night. So funny.
We always had fish tanks and stuff growing up.
Yeah?
Yeah. Always had pets. We always had cats, dogs, fish. We had ferrets. We had a rat.
I asked on my personal page if anybody wanted to share any, but let's see what they say.
Yeah, I think a couple people did besides
Yeah.
my mom.
Yeah. Aw, that's so funny.
I know.
Let's see. So Cheryl, our friend Cheryl says, watched a mom with her little boy the other day. The mom says, oh, brisket. I've never had a brisket before. And the son says, that's big. Are we getting it? So mom, maybe, as she is turning it over and then sees the price, says, oh boy, that's expensive. I guess we won't be having brisket. And the son says, that's okay, Mom. It just tastes like corn anyway. What?
Why?
So random.
Why does he think it tastes like
I don't
corn?
know. That's so funny.
He's like, I don't like corn very much.
She
so
said,
it's
I almost
probably-
died.
It's probably what it tastes like.
My cousin Kylie says, ask my mom. I was a hoot apparently, so I'll have to
Lord,
get back
yeah.
on that one.
Yeah.
And then my friend Erica says, because her son was maybe 3 and they were drawing unicorns with chalk in their driveway, and she said, I wonder what unicorns eat. And her son says, with like total matter of fact, rainbow corn. So kids must like corn. It was funny that they were both about corn.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Okay. Does that kid know brisket is a piece of cow?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Because, like, obviously the one that was drawing the unicorns, maybe they've seen horses,
Yeah.
feed.
oh,
So they think,
there,
like
and
sweet
that's very
corn,
possible.
Yeah. So it's rainbow corn, duh, because horses
Yeah.
eat corn.
Maybe.
So maybe the kid was like, that's a piece of cow, and cows eat corn, so it probably just tastes like corn.
Yeah, maybe. My friend Patricia said that her daughter was about 4 or 5, and in the middle of the store, she yelled out, "That's the kind of beer my mom always gets."
Oh, God. It's always nice when they call you out on your alcohol.
Yeah, and then she said, mind you, I don't even drink beer.
Oh, God.
So who is she buying it for?
Okay, so have you ever seen the tweets and stuff about kids saying the darndest things? But it's like, I remember when I was in heaven with grandma and blah, 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 and I picked you to be my mom and this and that. That shit freaks me out.
Yeah.
And you know why it freaks me out? Because now I'm convinced that we are reincarnated and I'm going to die and have to fucking come back to this awful place again.
Oh, man. Will you pick the same mom? Just kidding. I know she listens.
Probably. Yeah. It wasn't, it was crazy at times, but it wasn't like terrible.
It wasn't crazy at
It
times.
made me who I am today.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So no, maybe I'd be her mom.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Teach her a few things.
Ooh. And then I could be my grandma. Ooh. I'll spoil the shit out of
Did you see that one of that little girl that they're at the cemetery? They were just walking through the cemetery, and all of a sudden she just starts talking.
Stop
and
it.
she was like, "It is a nice day out." I mean, the girl's like 2 or 3.
Stop it.
And then she was like, "Okay, you have to go. Okay, bye-bye."
That's
And she's
fucked
and the
up.
mom's like, "What am I watching right now?"
That's fucked up.
I mean,
they say they're way more open to stuff like
Yeah.
that. I asked my oldest nephew, who is now 18. He was probably 2 or 3 at the time, which, you can't really like count on what they say. But if they just say shit without being prompted to say shit,
Yeah.
that's when you get worried. But I did ask him, like, do you remember being in your mommy's belly? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, what was it like? And he didn't really say anything. So I don't think he really did. But, I was always very curious. Like, what do kids understand of the world?
right, right.
Supposedly we're born knowing it all and we forget it as we age because this and that and our surroundings and whatever.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Did he remember being in his mom's belly?
I don't know. That's weird.
It's kind of creepy.
You know what
to
else is
think
weird?
about. What?
I have a quiz for you.
Oh, shut up!
I didn't warn you this time.
You didn't.
And I'm starting a little bit earlier because this is 18 questions. So
Oh,
I know
shit.
it's just going to spark a whole bunch of other
Oh, shit.
conversations.
Okay.
This is a grocery store quiz. So it says, what is one strategy you can use when shopping at the grocery store? 1, bring your kids so they can help. Well, we already know that answer. Go down each aisle to make sure you never forget anything. Do not go to the store hungry. Buy brand name products because they are better quality.
No.
That's it?
I'm going to say do not go to the store hungry.
Okay, perfect.
I try not to do that.
Correct.
Yay!
It tells you right away. Scroll the next question. So this is from proprofs.com. We've used this one before. Yeah, they're
Okay,
fun.
yeah.
They're fun. A true whole grain product will be brown or darker in color. List whole grain or whole wheat as the first ingredient. Say whole grain on the front of the package. Oh, this is interesting. I like this quiz so far.
I'm going to have to say whole grain in the ingredients.
List whole grain or whole wheat. You are correct.
Yeah.
Woo! You are so good. You're really good at these. That's why I keep doing it.
I'm very...
This is like the 15th week of quizzes, I think.
I know a lot of useless information.
It's amazing. It's useful for me. When buying produce, buy only green vegetables because they have the most vitamins. Buy in season for the freshest and cheaper produce. Buy enough for a couple of weeks so you will not have to go back to the store.
God, we all know you can't do that. So I'm going to say buy in season.
Yay, you're correct.
What's in season right now? Apples, pears.
Yeah, I bought oranges too, but I know that we're
It's
getting out, but they were pretty good.
Early for oranges,
Yeah.
but we're getting there.
Yeah,
We're getting there.
Which are lean meats? Fish, bacon, sausage that's spelled wrong, sirloin, or turkey?
Oh, I thought you were going to give me like 3 things in each one. Okay, so fish,
And
bacon,
you can click on as many
sausage.
as you want.
Okay. But wait, read it again.
So
What is-
it's the lean meats.
okay.
Fish, bacon, sausage, sirloin, turkey.
I'm going to say sirloin and turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about fish.
Fish would be
Fish,
another one.
okay.
Yep.
But they said meat.
Yeah,
I
I
was
know.
like, I didn't know.
I
It sounds like, were you trying to trick me? Trying to trick me?
ProProfs.com. Knock it off. Avoid juice labeled aid, drink, or punch. 100% or made with real fruit.
Aid, drink,
Avoid.
or punch.
Yeah. Okay.
Aid,
We
drink,
want
or
to
punch.
avoid those. Correct.
'Cause that's just a bunch of sugar.
So canned foods or Canadian foods,
Canadian
like the young
foods.
one said, are often high in sodium, should be your first choice over fresh or frozen, can spoil quickly. Canned foods.
Okay, so canned foods are high in sodium or...
Should be your first choice over fresh or frozen, can spoil quickly. So we know for sure it's not that last one.
I'm going to say high in sodium.
Yeah.
Because you should...
You are correct.
I pick frozen over canned.
Some product companies pay for prime shelf space.
Yes.
Absolutely, they do. Eye level. Eye level's the most expensive.
I was going to say is the answer eye level.
Yeah.
Well, you just said that, so no. Okay.
Yeah. When a product is displayed on the end of an aisle, does it mean it's on sale? True or false?
Usually. Yeah, I'm going to say
Ooh, it says false.
Shut up.
So out here where we work,
We from
it's
the
usually the
Midwest.
promos.
That's
yeah.
generally what's on
Yeah.
sale is displayed at the end.
Huh. Interesting. Now I'm going to look.
Get out of here.
Although there's a lot of baking end caps right now and nothing's on sale.
That is true.
So there we go, because we're getting into baking
we're
season.
going to say they're seasonal items, not
They're
sale
seasonal and
items.
convenient.
Okay, that makes
right?
sense.
Oh yeah, I need those chocolate chips and that flour and that sugar
Yeah,
and that oil
yeah.
and that baking soda. The baking. Okay, that
Yep,
makes sense.
That
now.
makes sense.
Now that we think about it.
Seasonal, not sale. Okay.
Only children under the age of 2 should be drinking whole milk. True or false?
I don't think anybody should be drinking
Well,
milk,
yeah.
so.
Yeah. But how about the age of under the age of 2? That's a tough one. I
guess
don't know.
true. I don't know.
You are
Yeah,
correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Weird.
I know. Maybe.
I like
not,
whole
I don't
milk,
remember.
though. Like, if I'm going to drink milk, I'm going to drink
We'll have to
whole
ask our
milk.
bestie what she does with her young one.
Yeah.
Health claims on snack products are always true.
False.
This will help you lose weight.
Yeah.
Right.
Eat these
with a whole bunch of stars.
Eat these Snackwell's cookies to lose weight.
Snackwell.
Remember those?
Yes. Or I like the Thin Mints. Okay.
They thin, not you, bitch.
Boxed dinners can cost more than buying the individual products.
I'm going to say true.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boxed dinners, they cost more sometimes. I think it's better to do
Make your own.
Make your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. From scratch.
I agree.
Mhm.
I agree.
Do you think you will? I'm sorry. Do you think you will use some of these tips next time you go shopping?
No.
Submit my answer.
Because I buy what I want.
It says incorrect. Yes, you will. We already learned from the end caps. It says. Do you feel you learned something new today?
Yes. Seasonal, not sale.
Incorrect. What the heck? I don't know what it's doing. Can you tell us one thing you learned?
Seasonal, not sale.
Was that 18 questions?
No.
All right, that was fun.
Oh, that's so funny.
So,
One more thing I wanted to talk about. So the new generations will not know about this, right? Because I'm pretty sure it doesn't happen anymore.
Oh.
working at the store, I definitely saw it a lot, and then all of a sudden it disappeared. And it was getting a free ham or turkey for the holidays as a Christmas bonus.
Yeah.
When I first met Johnny, which was eons ago, he said, "Oh, for Christmas, we get a ham." And I was like, "Ooh, awesome. I love ham. I know how to cook ham."
Yeah.
You know? It was a canned ham.
Oh.
I was like, I don't know how to cook this ham. I've never had this. He's like, just put some pineapple on it and put it in the oven. That thing was disgusting.
Is it like a large size Spam?
Exactly.
Oh, I've never.
Exactly.
I don't know that I've ever seen it, like outside of the can.
I feel like you got to be pretty old to enjoy something like that.
Is it from the company Armor?
That does, yes, that company does make it.
Because I'm picturing
they make like
it,
the
but
little Vienna sausages and stuff.
that's what I'm
too.
picturing, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the.
Yeah, it's like, it almost looks like
A
Easter
teardrop.
egg shape.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
flat
yeah.
on the bottom,
And do they keep it refrigerated in the meat department? Does it have to be? Does it have to be refrigerated?
I don't think so.
So it's something that you can
I think
buy
it's
in
shelf
center
stable.
store.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to find that
I could
out.
be wrong about that, though.
I don't know.
I would imagine
I have no
it's
idea.
in a can, like Spam.
Yeah, right.
Why would they have to keep it in the fridge?
Not sure.
I've seen it in the fridge.
And obviously you can't freeze it because it's a can. So
Yeah.
interesting.
Ew. But yeah, people used to get, turkeys and hams. That
Yeah.
was like a huge thing back in the day.
Huh, interesting. So speaking of turkeys, we're in 2021.
Yes.
And those that are listening, we have a turkey shortage. The 12
Get
to 18-pound
out.
turkeys are short. So
Okay,
you're gonna
that
have to
makes sense, though.
you're gonna have to get your 19 and higher.
I
or if
usually
it's just for
do.
yourself or your
Yeah.
spouse, you're gonna want to get something 12 pounds or less because we do have a little bit of a shortage. That's why when you go to the stores right now, it says limit 1.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of sales or promos right now. Like, how it used to be like 23 cents a pound if you spend $50 or more.
Where we used to work, they're only 33 cents a pound.
Okay.
And
so
the place that we shop at quite often in town, they were 49 cents.
okay,
a
but I
pound.
am seeing signs of limit 1.
Yes.
So there is a little bit of a
Yes.
shortage. So get your turkeys now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, actually, by the time this airs, there's only going to be one more week, but don't wait till the last minute.
By the time you hear this, on Monday, you should be taking your turkey out of the fridge.
Yes.
I mean, out of the
freezer.
Yeah.
Yes. By the time
Yeah.
you hear this, if you have a turkey in the freezer right now, go pull it out.
Yeah.
Because it's time.
It is time.
Gobble, 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 gobble.
I used to buy, Rachel Ray taught me. Thanks, Rachel Ray.
Hmm.
To buy 2 smaller turkeys, like 2
Oh.
like between 13 and 15-pound turkeys.
Okay.
Because then you get 4 legs, 4 breasts. You know what I mean? You get
What a smart idea.
yeah. And then I always cook mine in the Nesco. So
Tell me how you cook yours. So now my mom does Thanksgiving. Sometimes we do turkeys, but I do more like, for me and Julia, I do like the tofurkey. And then for the guys, I just make a small whatever they want. So it's not
Yeah.
like stuffed.
Like
it's
a
not
turkey
fancy.
breast.
It's probably a turkey breast that we
Yeah.
put in the crock pot.
Oh,
so how do
okay.
you make yours? Because you have some people over, so you make a nice big turkey, right?
we're making 2 turkeys and a prime rib this year.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing.
And
So
then
how do
Aunt
you do
Teresa
it?
said she might make a smoked turkey.
Do you stuff with
also.
stuffing?
I don't
and-
stuff it.
Okay, my
No.
mom does all of that.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
Like if you think
You know what?
fancy, that's my mom. Like she's all out.
So this is like how much the media influences you, right? So when I was a kid, a bunch of people were getting sick because the stuffing wasn't cooked all the way.
oh,
So, when they would stuff it inside of the bird. So it was like that always stuck in my head, and
Oh.
I've never stuffed a
Okay.
turkey. I've always cooked my dressing
okay.
on the side.
So as the turkey was cooking, it must have dripped into the stuffing.
oh
and
yeah,
the stuffing
it
didn't cook all the
definitely
way
does.
through.
Like
okay.
that's the whole point of like cooking
Yeah.
it in there is that it gets all the juices from the
Yeah.
turkey, But if you don't make sure it gets 160 degrees in the middle of that
Middle,
stuffing,
yes.
then it's not, cooked thoroughly, and then you can get
Yes.
sick from it. So
Very good.
But I just remember that was like on the news. Everybody's getting sick from eating the stuffing that was in the turkey.
Oh no, so now that's why you don't do it.
I never do it.
Do you
I've never
put
done it.
like anything in it? Like
I do. So I'll brine my turkey
Okay,
overnight
okay.
the day before.
Yes.
So, it's like a shit ton of salt, some other spices and whatever, and we let it soak overnight.
Oh.
I usually just put it in 5-gallon buckets with a couple bags in it and then just set it outside my back door. Knock on wood. I've
Yeah.
never had a raccoon fuck with it or nothing.
Yeah.
You know? The dog always wants to go check it out. I'm
Of
like, get out of
course.
there.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
Get out of there, Daisy Poo.
Oh, Daisy butt. Look at that little Daisy butt. So then the next day, you know, I season it up. I throw carrots, onions, celery, whatever.
You cut them all or just full? Because I've seen people do both.
I'll just like chop it in half.
Like,
you know,
okay,
yeah, like
okay.
because you're not gonna really eat that, so you don't really care what it looks like.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
Like generally, I'll use like the tops of my celery.
So if you're not going to eat it, why do you put it in there?
because it flavors the turkey.
It does. So it's just like
Yeah.
making a broth or a stock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You want
Okay.
it sitting in there. And like I said, I use my Nesco. If you guys know what a Nesco is, that's like a little, you know, it's
Oven.
like a portable
it's like a
oven.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I like using that because then I have space in my oven.
And it's
for
got a dial
everything else.
to 350,
Right.
450, right? It's got like a dial
Yes.
in the front.
And it cooks your turkey faster.
Oh.
So
okay.
I'm always like, is it done? And I open it and it's like the leg is falling off. I'm like, oh, I fucking think it's done. So yeah, but I like using that because then I got the oven for green bean casserole, corn casserole. Ooh, I found a new recipe for corn casserole this year.
Tell us about it.
I made it the other night. I made it in a 9x13
did you
pan.
Snapchat it?
Yes.
Oh, it looked so good.
And me and Johnny ate half of the fucking pan. It
Wow,
was
so good. Yeah.
So we've always made corn casserole in my family, and it was like a stick of butter with onions. You saute that. Then you pour into a bowl a box of Jiffy, 2 eggs, a can of regular corn drained,
Wait, what's Jiffy?
Jiffy cornbread mix,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
a can of corn drained, a can of creamed corn, and then some sour cream, salt and pepper.
Oh my gosh.
Mix that up and put it in a dish, and then I would always pour the butter and onions over the top
Oh, wow.
and then bake it, and then we would take it out, put cheese on it, and bake it more, you know.
Oh my gosh.
So this one is similar, but it has a jalapeno chopped up in it. And instead of cheese on top, which I think you could do both with this recipe, I think actually cheese would make it just take it up a notch. You do breadcrumbs for the last like 20 minutes with butter.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
And it was so
I'm gonna have
good.
to try that.
It's really good. It has eggs in it. Do you eat eggs?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
No, I'll have to do it our way, but that sounds amazing.
I can send you the recipe. I have it saved.
I love making sweet potatoes.
I love sweet potatoes too.
Like I cut them all up and then with the marshmallow and the
Yes.
brown sugar and all
Yes.
that. I love it.
Is that
That's
your
what I-
favorite?
It's my favorite.
Your favorite side dish?
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
I'm probably going to say my dressing.
Like I
It's-
make a whole pan and then I'll make a second pan just for me
you.
for like a couple
Yeah,
days. You know, Black
yeah.
Friday shopping, that's
Yeah,
breakfast.
yeah.
You know,
Yes.
I'll have it with a
I know
sandwich
Johnny's
later.
like, why do you make so much food? And I was like, because I want fucking leftovers,
yeah,
man.
that's exactly what it's all about.
And then, like,
we'll
at
eat leftovers for a week.
Day 5, I'm like, throw this shit away. Yeah, I'm going to say because my grandma taught me how to make dressing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, she still makes it, but she taught me how she makes it, and I love her dressing. So
yeah,
that's probably my favorite with gravy on it.
so good. You want to hear a sad story?
No.
1 year.
It was so upbeat.
So my mom is an amazing chef. She
Yeah.
always hosts. She just has it. Like she can't do anything wrong in the kitchen. She's
Yeah.
just good. And I think I got some of that, not all of it. She's even a really good baker. She says she's not, but she absolutely is. I
yeah.
will go and like eat all the cookies
Yeah.
that she makes. So I don't remember if it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, but she always packs us a to-go.
Yeah.
So 1 year she
Oh,
packed it
no.
all in a Christmas bag. There we go. It was Christmas.
Yeah.
So it was like ham, turkey, potatoes, all in this
All
Christmas
the good
bag.
stuff.
We all get home. The kids are younger. We're exhausted. We all walk in the house and we go to bed.
Oh no,
Because
you
it
left
was in a Christmas bag.
outside.
So I go out to my car in the morning. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to grab all this. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my
Oh,
God, we left all the
no.
food. So I was like,
And you were in the
really
garage?
thinking about
Were
it.
you in the garage?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
really
shit.
thinking about it because it was really cold out, but the garage stays
yeah.
about 40. Oh, we
That's
wasted
pushing it.
all the. I don't
Yeah.
even think like if she's listening now, she just found out about it because I don't even think I ever told her. I was
kept that a
heartbroken. It was like leftovers for days.
Yeah.
I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So I think the next day I ended up cooking like everything again, like just so we could have leftovers for the
Yeah.
week because I was
Yeah.
so sad about it.
You know,
I
Johnny,
couldn't believe it.
I got a turkey and Johnny got a turkey, and he was like, he got a smaller one. And he was like, yeah, so we can just like have Thanksgiving on our own. And I was like, fuck that. I'm cooking both those turkeys.
Yeah, right. So we always do Thanksgiving. Like I'll probably do it this weekend.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You know, like
Yeah.
on Sunday, I'll just cook and we do our own.
Yeah.
And then we go to my mom's on
On the
Thursday.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I like my way, which is very similar to my mom's because that's who I learned it
Right.
from. But I just like to have our own family get
Yeah.
together, and then we do, you know, my brothers and
Yeah.
and their families at my mom's. So yeah, it's nice.
I don't know why do we only ever eat it once a year? You know what I mean? Like,
We do it usually like in. Well, not I wouldn't say March because that's corned beef, but I would say like maybe in February I do it
February.
again.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
obviously in July you're not like, ooh, let's cook a turkey.
Yeah, no, you don't want to keep your oven on, or even the smaller oven that you
Yeah.
talked about, right? We have one of those as well.
I guess maybe I have done like a small turkey breast and just done, you know, made like 2 sweet potatoes,
Yeah, yeah.
a box of stovetop.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
It's not fancy,
doctor
but it just
up
kind of
again.
gives you that, you know,
Yeah.
kind of
Takes the edge off.
a little bit. I wish it was Thanksgiving. Snap your fingers. It's Thanksgiving. It's like February.
Take the edge
It's such
off.
a great dinner.
I know, I love it.
It's such a great dinner. I don't know why we don't do it more often.
You know, but I eat all day long while I'm making it. Plus, I'm the charcuterie slut. You know what
are.
I mean?
You absolutely are.
I have to have, you know, my great grandma was pretty fancy. I'm doing air quotes because, like, she thought she was fancy, but
Yeah.
she taught us some great, you know, we follow tradition. We have to have shrimp.
Uh-huh.
We got to have our cheese ball. We have to have, you know, crackers and
Oh, it
sausage.
sounds so familiar.
And relish tray.
It's-
and
yeah,
that's how it's
similar.
always been.
Mhm.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like we have to do that. So then I get so full
Oh, yeah.
from like, oh, well, let me taste that. And, oh, grandma, the stuffing's done. Like, let me taste it.
Yep.
And, oh, I should probably taste this. And, oh, cheese and crackers. And I'm going to eat that. And then dinner is ready. And everyone's like, why aren't you eating? I'm like, because I'm fucking stuffed.
I do the same thing when I'm cooking. So I'll
like,
put
I'll
a
wait
few
till
things out for
tomorrow.
everyone, and then I want to taste everything.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good. Ooh,
Yeah.
and I don't know how to stop.
I know,
So
me
it's the same
neither.
thing. I'll just go make a little plate, and I'll just sit there and watch everybody else eat. I'm like, oh man, what the heck?
You're like, I think I might have to go poop.
Yeah, yeah, right. I got to make some more room.
That's how glad we always have Thanksgiving at my house because I have a basement bathroom and
Yeah.
an upstairs
Yeah.
bathroom. Nobody has to poop in the kitchen bathroom.
Yeah.
You know, like if you guys got to go poop, there's plenty of privacy
Yeah.
downstairs. Make some room for pie.
Yeah. My parents have, well, they have 4 bathrooms. One's all the way downstairs in the basement, and
Yeah.
they have 3 on their middle level.
Yeah.
And there's one like by the quote unquote kids' rooms where we used
Oh,
to
there you
live,
go.
you know?
Yeah.
So I just kind of like, gotta go to the bathroom. Well, there's one right here by the kitchen.
You're
Hell no.
like, I gotta go poop. I gotta do a number 2. There you go, Drew. We talked about it.
We were talking to someone that does the septics, and he said the day after Thanksgiving
Oh,
or the week
God.
after Thanksgiving
Oh,
is the
God.
busiest week for
Stop.
them. Yep.
Sick.
Plumbing seems to go out the week after
Ew.
Thanksgiving.
All that turkey. and
That's a lot of
potatoes.
eating. Stop it, everyone. Why are you eating so much?
When we do it too. So Johnny bought the power flusher.
Yeah.
That thing, we don't even own a fucking plunger.
Yeah. Don't
That-
even try to stick your hand in it while it was going down. It'll
always-
take you with it.
It always frightens everybody the first time they use it.
Whoa.
Wait, what? Where'd my poop go? I didn't even get to look at it.
So I'm like a 2 flusher to be polite. So I'm afraid it would suck me in. Like I've never pooped at your house, but like what
You
if I go to
haven't?
sit down? This is ridiculous. How did we just get to this?
So like you start pooping and you flush.
Oh,
and then
absolutely.
finish
I'm
and
a 2
flush, yeah.
flusher because you know I just
Not me.
okay. So what if it's like that heavy and like it sucks
It's
it
like-
down? All of a sudden I'm like like my butt starts going in there. I'm like, oh my god.
It's like
Then
the
all of a
air-
sudden we have a bidet. You know, it's
the
like oh
airplane
shit.
toilet.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that happened to me.
It's not like that.
I was coming home 2 weeks ago and we had a couple of drinks before
Oh,
getting on the plane.
God.
And I knew it. It was like a 4-hour flight. I'm like, I'm not going to make it. So I was like sitting and I'm like, oh yeah, I just have a habit of flushing twice, I guess. I don't know
Oh,
what it is
no.
to be polite. I don't know what it is.
Well, it gets
So
rid of your stank a
I
little
stood
bit.
up and you have to like lean over to press the button. So I leaned over and it went, oh my
Oh,
God. I
God.
scared myself half to death. I'm pretty sure I like jumped back and made a noise. I'm like, oh great. It's like midnight. People are like, what is she doing in there?
Oh God.
Oh man.
That's so funny.
Can
Nobody
you
can
imagine-
hear anything. It's so loud on the
It
plane.
is, it
and it's
is.
just like
I always
and
worry
you
about
don't
that
even
kind of
notice.
stuff.
You don't notice until you land. You're like, wow, that was really loud.
The whole time. Yeah, the humming and all that.
And your ears are all popped and hearing weird.
Yeah,
and,
no kidding. I wonder if bathrooms are used more on planes the day after Thanksgiving. People probably have to go, right?
Ew.
I don't know if I'd want to be someone on a plane
Imagine
working,
what
flying.
stewardess have to go
because they
through.
sit back there. No way. I don't know. People are stinky
Sick.
enough. I wouldn't want to sit by the bathrooms. So, anyways, happy Thanksgiving,
Happy
everyone.
Thanksgiving. Have a good turkey and a good poop.
So funny.
I'm sure we'll have one more episode about turkey and poop.
I love how we went to like the craziest things that kids say to have a great Thanksgiving, and here's how I cook my turkey.
You know what?
To pooping.
Kids talk about poop all the time.
They really do.
And they laugh
really
at farts
do.
because farts are fucking funny. And I don't know why we grow up and think farts aren't funny anymore. I think they're hilarious.
So funny. Okay, so back to business here real quick because I always have to.
Shit.
I'm all about business.
Yeah.
This is 41 weeks, not including bonuses, our bonus episodes, or our trailer.
Ooh.
We're at 41 weeks. We're over 5,000 downloads.
Stop it.
And 28 countries.
Stop it.
Thank you, listeners.
I don't know how to say thank you in different languages. We should
Yeah.
probably figure that out.
Let's do that.
I mean,
next
I know
time.
gracias.
Well, so
Gracias?
we'll be recording
Gracias.
for the day after Thanksgiving. I know Black Friday.
Okay.
People will be busy, so they
Okay.
probably won't listen till Monday.
Yeah.
We're gonna 10 different languages. Thank you. We're gonna learn like
Ooh.
merci and gracias, and
Gracias.
yeah, we're gonna learn it. We're gonna
Okay.
learn it
Okay.
for next week. So we're gonna have to listen to this again to remind ourselves that we're doing that.
I'm going to set an alarm in my phone right now. Learn 10 languages. Learn thank you in 10 languages.
So fun.
Yes.
Thanks everybody for listening.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, 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 gobble. This podcast is brought to you by Name Tag Productions, LLC. Entire podcast, unless otherwise stated, written by the hosts. Drums, written and performed by my son, Steven. The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. If we have to be all in this together, we might as well make it fun.